say vote no for the proposal in the proxy given to GameStop shareholders. I'll tell you why. Because the message is the same. The message is the same. And for all of you haters out there, for all of you, what are you guys?
Welcome to Marantz Rantz, no advice on finance. Spin the wheel and take a chance. Get an NFT and a little education. The system got undertow, that knowledge is flotation. You wanna learn? Well, you came to right place. You're pumping AMC, might get slapped in the face. Get your due diligence, know who the villain is. Don't be a sheep when the shepherd's carnivorous. So come learn, laugh, and maybe you win big. And listen up, y'all, the wheel is not rigged. Everybody get a chance in the live chat. Kyoto spin wheel, you win just like that. Retail fight pack and this retail winning. Y'all just wait, man, this is just the beginning. All fellow simians, GME group singing the truth. We just chillin', infinity pool swimming. So welcome to Marantz Rantz. A lot of knowledge but no advice on finance. Don't even need pants, you can tune in naked like Henny the Mayo Man. Internet's most hated. Don't wanna lose your money, then it's time for you to listen. If you're ignorant, invest in AMC or superstition. The stream about ready, they told us to don't dance. I do what I want. Welcome to Marantz Rantz. 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 Welcome to Marantz.
A bunch of snakes out here, bro. There's a snake in my damn boat. I like what somebody, what is that? Superstock is in all of Reddit is looking like, what did you say? Like Compton in the 80s. What does that even mean? I don't know what that means. I don't know if that's a racist comment or not, but I was told great intro. You don't know. I played 3 songs from over the pond. I'm a huge fan of the UK. Why? Because I love my brother Trove. I like all the investors. Endgame, you know who you guys are. All the people who've been rocking with me for 5 years. Let me tell you guys something. Breaking news. Our 5th year anniversary of this channel is on Saturday. That means you dirty bastards. Sorry, women. But you dirties out there, you dirty scoundrels. You guys have been kicking it with me for 5 years. Some of you have never missed an episode. Some of you caught up. I don't know. 5 years, bros. Oh, shit. I love what somebody just wrote in the chat. They put, hey, man, all Ryan Cohen is doing is 5 years from now, GameStop's going to be worth $40. Congratulations. Bro, I don't care. I don't care what you tell me. There's nothing you could tell me. Nothing. Let's run it. Hey, by the way, I do have 17 reasons for eBay to be walking on eggshells, because I'm going to educate you tonight, because it's not just the fact that we have a long show. It's not just the fact that we have to go over GameStop proxy that dropped and they're going to increase the float to 2.5 billion shares, which I'm very happy about, and I'll explain that too, the thought process behind it. But you have to remember that eBay has a proxy too. You know what, guys? I'm going to tell you something about investing and something about due diligence. If you don't do it yourself, if you rely on other people, i.e., if you rely on me, you're going to win. Okay? You're going to win. There's a reason why the stock drops all the way down to 22.05, and there's not a single investor that's a part of Team 51 that says, shit, here we go again. This sucks. Nobody says that. You know what we say? How low do you want to go? Because I'm going to buy that shit. I'm going to buy as much as I can of it. Because you know what hasn't changed? The part that hasn't changed at all, no matter the dilution, proposal, proxy, Roaring Kitty tweets and not tweets, no matter what anybody wants to tell you, that 22.05 in the after hours right now, that has not fundamentally changed the cash on hand, the money that's coming from Power Packs, the business we run, the proposals on the table. We own 5% of eBay. And we bought it at 85 and it's 109 tonight. So you tell me how we own $2 billion, almost $3 billion of an eBay company. And yet, hey, GameStop's only worth $10 billion. That's what they tell me, $9 billion. That's all we're worth. We have $9 billion cash and we own eBay the tune of $2 billion. Almost 3. No? I'm the only one. Okay. Don't worry. We'll go over it. Well, welcome to the show. Welcome back. Welcome back to Marantz Rantz. Plenty of good information, a little bit of motivation, a whole lot of truth, no financial advice. Huh. This is a one-take session. No edits, no cuts. Let's do it again. No edits, no cuts. About why eBay should be shaking in them boots. Now, you guys know who he is. This is who we call King Ryan. That's what we call him. Not to be confused with that shitty TikTok boxer. You know, guys, I almost said a phrase that I haven't said in years. I almost said, oh, you got me on speaker? My son just said Marantz sounds really happy today. Yeah, tell your boy, there's a game that he misses in his life that he hasn't played growing up. We've all played it. It's the reason why I don't believe in ADHD. You guys ever hear about this? Sorry, I have it. Apparently, I don't know. They tell me bullshit. I don't take any medication for this, for the way I am. I'm lit. I'm lit every day. But it's because I grew up, like they tell you, I grew up playing titty twisters. You didn't play that? Am I the only one? I almost said the words earlier, but you guys, for men, they know. Bro, you be on your head on, doo-doo. You ain't getting me. No. The most non-gay gay game. Kind of like Smear the Queer when we played football. Most non-gay gay game you play. That's it. I don't know. It hit me. You got that. So there's a couple of things you can do. You know what's the most non-gay thing you could own but makes it gay? A waterbed. Oh, yeah. I grew up with the waterbed, bros. Let me tell you, there's nothing like it. Oh, I'm having a hard time sleeping. Oh, because my dad had a waterbed. That's either my dad was putting it in, it was getting it in, and he didn't want anybody to hear the motion in the ocean. But there was times he'd be like, man, my back hurts. I'm like, okay, Pops, what do you want me to do? He said, bring me the water, the manguera. bring me the water hose. Ran that shit through the house, make sure there was no leaks and shit on the carpet and everything. Filling it back up. My mom said, why are you filling it back up? I like it at that wave. That firmness. You men don't know. Some of you guys. Speakers off? They got to know about that. Bro. I'll tell you something else that's happening. I weighed myself yesterday. It was Mother's Day. Shout out to all the moms out there. You know who you are. Happy Mother's Day. You guys are amazing. And to all the dads out there that are single, all you single dads, happy Mother's Day to you too, since you do the job of two people. There you go. But there I was, trapped in my room because my wife decided to have 20 people over, right? Which I love being trapped in my little office here, my little sanctuary, because I just play video games and I research GameStop. And in this case, I've been researching eBay. Have to, because it's my investment to make. But I went and stepped on the scale and I'm 250 pounds, bro. Let me tell you something. If I get to 300, I don't care. My wife's going to love me, right? She's going to be with me. But if I get any bigger, my dream is to be a fat boy. That's my dream. I got that dream, bro. I have a dream to be a fat boy. Not the rappers from the 80s. Not those fat boys. Like, I want to be so big that I can't see my own shit. Like, I have to look in the mirror to see my junk, right? I'll be like, yo, my belly's blocking it type shit. I got to breathe real hard. Just tie my shoes. I want to be like that big. But the real indicator that I'm going to get big is if I'm big enough, then I'm going to troll. Do you know how big people troll? I'm just curious if you guys know this, how a fat person will troll. Like, you'll do troll shit. Like, I'll give you an example. Be the last one to get onto an airplane. That's the coldest move ever, bro. Let all these people just go on before you. You're just right there like, you think you're about to be comfortable. And then you go and you read the seat. You're like, man, that's where I'm headed. Whoo! I take all the armrests. That's how, I do it now. So what makes you think I wouldn't do it when I'm about 50 bills heavier? No, I'm really going to be fat because here's the thing. When you own GameStop at the level you do right now, you're about to be eating everyone's lunch. Everyone. You're going to take it all out of people. That's the way we're going to do it. Because if you're not paying attention what GameStop's doing, one, we're going to go over the proxy, GameStop's proxy. But before we go over GameStop's proxy, I want to educate people tonight on eBay's proxy. Is that fair? You're buying the company. You're going to inherit the riches, the bitches. You're going to do your best, so you need to learn. You need to learn what it is and what we look for when we're breaking down companies, the pros and the cons. So let's do that right now. I won't waste any more of your time. First thing I want to look at, obviously, I would go with the board of directors, go down that whole list like I do on Connect the Dots, but I'm not going to do that. I want to educate. So here we go. So one thing about eBay they have that stockholders representing 20% or more of eBay common stock can request an eBay to call a special meeting of stockholders. So you need 20%. Right now we're at 5%. I can tell you that we're not going to quit buying eBay until, well, look at what happened. We bought 5% and the stock ran $40. And what did their executives do? Sell all of it. They sold everything they could on this last run. It's the greatest run of your lifetime. The thing that's very particular about eBay, unlike other companies, if you don't know this part, eBay has this ongoing assessment of the composition itself. Now, the composition of the board is relatively like a revolving door. They don't have, and you'll read it up at the top, while our board does not have formal term limits for its directors, they actually like to have you there no more than 10 years. That's the way they do it. So out of all their 11 directors, by the way, which is crazy, 7 joined the board in 2020 or later. The problem with that I have for you is that it's about 5.5 years of runway for them each. That's the history of that board of directors. What does that really mean? Well, when the average age of those directors are 59 years old, that's exactly what it tells you at the very last bottom line. The average age of the directors are 59 years old. I too would be afraid of a 40-year-old coming in and taking over your company. These are all the fears you should have, eBay. You're too old. You're too long in the tooth. 2, you're not innovative enough. 3, you don't give enough experience to your board of directors because they can't even pretend to know how to run that business because they don't know it. They have to relearn it every single executive at a time. But I found this pretty particular. It says here, proxy access candidates will be included on our proxy statement ballot. Our proxy access by law provision provides holders of at least 3% of eBay common stock, which consists of 20 stockholders, of up to 20 stockholders, holding such stock continuously for at least 3 years, with the right to nominate 2 individuals or 20% of the board. So 20% of the board right now would be 2. So they're going to be allowed to nominate 2 board of directors, whichever is greater, and for an election meeting. So we can put on the proxy Ryan Cohen becomes part of this board. We can do that as long as we hold the stock for 3 years. We already own 5%, but we can accelerate that even faster. But people have to know their bylaws because that's what we're playing with when we're trying to buy this company. We're currently invested with the company and own it. Now, the board leadership, if you're not going to read this, I'll cliff note it for you. In accordance with our bylaws and governance guidelines, our board appoints our CEO, and he will be separate, okay, from the board of directors, because it tells you here the roles of the board chair and CEO will be held by separate individuals. Our beliefs are that the separation of offices, the board chair and the CEO, is desirable and appropriate to aid in the board's independent oversight. Remember we talked about independent oversight? So this company tells you they only do a board of directors, a president, and a CEO. GameStop has all in one. GameStop has Ryan Cohen. AMC Movie Theaters has Adam Aaron, which had since changed from 2021 when he actually proposed that. But this is what I'm trying to tell you. The entrenchment of this investment, you should be scared because Ryan's going to come in and change this law. And he should. You shouldn't hold the board seat yourself because you guys have perverse incentives, right? And we're going to show you and talk about them. Another thing that I found particular about eBay since January of 2025, they actually talked to their investors. They talked to 38 investors representing 70% of their outstanding shares. They also held 19 conference calls and they represented 40% of the outstanding shares. So they have direct communication with their shareholders with 70%. Could you imagine that who's in that room? There's only 38 investors. You mean to tell me we only have to swing the vote of half? Half of these guys, and we're fine. Why? Because we own 5% of the company. They're juggling 70% over here, yet cut it in half, and where are we at? We're 35 plus our 5. Where's the other 10 coming from? Maybe we can convince more than 19 people that this is a good deal for us. But you should be afraid, and I'll tell you why. When you have a shareholder base that is so concentrated like this, that means that someone on eBay has already folded. Someone had to give up their percentage of shares so that Ryan could come in and buy them where they're at. I.e., it's either eBay themselves and or it's somebody in these rooms where we're already embedded and we know we are, because you can have direct influence. There's not a lot of investors at eBay. There is a concentrated amount, and that's not a good thing, guys. In the world of M&A, in the world of anti-takeover measures, this is not good for them. They're going to be in trouble. Next part about this is here. All of these executives, look at how much they make a damn day, right? Look how much money they make a year. Just if you guys cannot see it, I make what you make a day in a year, whatever. Look at this. Almost $400,000 across the board. I'm going to call it $350 for fun. But this is how much money they make between all of the board of directors, not the C-suite. This is just board of directors per year. There's at least 10 of them there. They're looking at $4 million a year to do what? Absolutely nothing. They do nothing. They are nothing. And I'll give you an example. This young man here used to work for America Airlines. Isn't that weird? You used to work for America Airlines. You're 45 years old, and they're presenting you to be the chief people officer for this company. America Airlines, if you guys don't know, that's a halted stock when GameStop got halted. That's a private equity investment, and I've exposed it plenty of times. Let's go ahead and look at something like this. The new CFO, Miss Alford, what was she given along with Miss Willington? They get what they call make good payments. Make good payments are payments made to someone in good faith for joining their team, their company. They paid these guys, and read it at the bottom, Miss Alford received a one-time make-good cash payment of almost $4 million at her start date. A signing bonus, guys. Miss Wellington did the same the previous year. These are fat cat executives that signed for massive amounts, but this is all this money, by the way, can be clawed back. Oh, yeah, babe. They're going to have to pay it back. Now, this was a little insert that they put there, and it tells you that she got $3.925 million, Miss Alfred. Miss Willington got $2.575. You know what I have a question for? All the people you guys are hiring, whether they're counsel or they're something else, don't mind me coming off the screen. All the money they're paying, and they're paying these executives, this make-good money, 2 females? That feels a little sexist. Feels like you guys are discriminating. I don't know. Hey, how about the C-suite? How much do they make, guys? Peggy Alford, the CEO, all these people here. This is not board of directors. This is C-suite. Look at how much they make a year. 28,000, 28 million, 20 million, 21 million, 15 million, 9, 7, 7, 10, 8, 6, 14, 8, 8, 10, 6, 8. Overpaid executives doing what to the company? Driving it to the ground like they have. All that money will be gone. You will not see eBay executives make that kind of money if GameStop is running it, because we don't need 2 CEOs. We don't need 2 CFOs. We don't need 2 chief growth officer. We don't need a chief commercial officer. We don't need a chief legal officer. We don't need a chief financial officer, chief product officer. We don't need any of this stuff. All this money they're spending on executives, they don't need to. Now, let's just say we cut bait. Let's just say we come in, we clean house, and we give them golden parachutes. Look at the payoffs. $114 million, $19 million, $38 million, $31 million, $16 million. You're talking about paying people $400 million between annual salaries, board of directors, and C-suite to get the hell out. We're going to save $400 million right there. And then you say save. Hold on, Marantz. You got to pay it up front. Yeah, we got to pay it up front. We won't be there next year. We'll go with adjusted. How about that? Adjusted. So There's that. There's that. I got to get back to my line. Now, here's the problem. You're going to see here, because these guys have no experience whatsoever, these executives have a check mark in every category. Look at the categories, okay? I want you to look at it. They have 0 to 3 years experience in each category, and 4 of them only go 0 to 3 years. Then 4 to 7 years, and then 8+ years on some of these executives. But if you really look at it, the line that says entrepreneur, there's only 4 of them that have experience, and they don't have more than 4 years experience. That's it. These guys are not seasoned leaders. You can put a check mark in leadership all you want, put a check mark in management, but show me what they're lacking. Besides not being entrepreneurs, they also don't have cybersecurity. Yet they're a damn website company, and no one on this board of directors has more than 4 to 7 years experience in cybersecurity. This is an inept board right here. These are plants from private equity that shows me these kids are not ready. Ryan comes in with 25 years experience of cybersecurity and e-commerce and websites. Not these guys. None of them. I'd rather take Larry Chang, Alan Adel, Michael Day, right here, Ryan Cohen, Nat Turner, Jim Groupie. I'd rather have these guys doing my bidding than these non-experienced people. Let's go ahead and go after one right now. Here's Carol. Hey, Carol, how you doing? So Carol Halis, whatever her damn name is, if you're reading the fine print here, it tells you that she's worked for numerous companies, but the one that caught my eye when I look at the list is that she is Price Waterhouse Coopers. Now, I know normally that wouldn't matter to you. That wouldn't matter to America. Ryan Cohen, take these notes. She used to work for PwC, one of the big 4 when it comes to auditing. She has her career there. She was in charge there. She worked there from 1985 to 2009. That's 24 years. Then she came over. Can I tell you why that's a problem, guys? Because that is the actual auditor that eBay uses. eBay uses PricewaterhouseCoopers, okay? How in the hell is that an independent auditor when someone who slaved for you for a quarter of a century is running the company as well? This would be a problem for me if I was going to execute an audit of this company to say, well, you're not unrelated. The employee used to work for you. Just because she doesn't work for you in 10 years doesn't mean she doesn't have ties with it. So people need to know that, okay? Next, don't worry, I'll deal with the chat in a minute. I see them writing bullshit. Don't worry, we're fine. William Nash, we've talked about this before. He's with CarMax. Guys, CarMax is private equity. CarMax is carved out, and it's private equity, and it's gross. He also was with Circuit City. You should know. Board of directors that should be running for the hills. The CEO. How you doing, CEO? Booze, Hamill, all that stuff? No, the biggest problem that I've ever had with you, Jamie, I'll call you Jaime for all the Mexicans out there. Board of directors at the Children's Place. Dun, 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 dun. Bankruptcy. We know. And your last one you need to look at is a new one they just hired, Brian Sharples. Once again, Bain & Company. You guys have to know how I feel about it. Bain & Company is everywhere you don't want to be. They're all over damn eBay. They are entrenched. So, Ryan, have you figured it out? Their bylaws try to push out any type of real structure. They refuse to house executives that are going to have tenure and know how to run this company, understand the seasons. You have to know seasonality. You have to know years. You have to go through crisis. You want executives that were there before COVID because, hell, this company was phenomenal in 2014 and 13 and 12. But those executives are come and go. They're gone. Why is it a revolving door for all board of directors? Why is there no identity to eBay? This is why there's no progression. This is why there's no research and development. I mean, there's money spent. There's marketing dollars being spent. But what's the return on that? And don't tell me $2.5 billion. Let me explain something to you guys that don't know marketing, that don't understand math. They go, well, they spent $2.5 billion, Marantz, and they netted 1 million new users, and their net profit is $2.5 billion. They broke even. In what world does breaking even mean a profit? In what world does breaking even mean break even? No. They recovered their marketing dollars, but they didn't break even, babe. Because you still had to pay someone to answer the phone, send an email. You still had to train people, pay insurance, workman comp, general liability claims. There's so many expenses that go into this. There's lawsuits that are pending. How the hell did they break even? Year after year, they're not. You would have to be 6x. You'd have to be so far out to be a profit rather than break even. There's no such thing as breaking even. Not in this case. You're spending money and a lot of it. Just because you're masking it with share buybacks and dividends to buy up the stock, there's no growth. There's no real expansion. Revenue being up is just dollars being spent. Show me, I'll tell you this. Show me revenue increasing and your CapEx decreasing. Show me revenue increasing and your SG&A decreasing. Because I'm going to show you GameStop. I'm going to show you GameStop that makes more dollars for every SG&A dollar spent. More dollars per square foot, more dollars per man hour, more dollars per unit sold, and more units sold than actual revenue right there in front of you. Because maybe we're changing and gross profit margins going up. But what would go ahead and mask all of this is that these guys have a ridiculous amount of gross profit. Their operating profit is 74%. That covers up a whole lot of wrongdoings. It doesn't mean that you're amazing. Listen to me, when your gross profit is 74%, but you're taking home $2 billion on $11 billion, 1/5, you're only taking home 20% out of the 70 you're making? Is it clocking yet? Yeah, you're losing somewhere, and it's in the pockets of every single person I just listed, amongst other people. Welcome to GameStop, where we're going to clean up the slop. Now, do I have to pull up the whole damn proxy, or you guys just want to talk about the damn bug in the room? 2.5 billion shares of a dilution, or the ability to dilute to that point. One thing that tells me this deal's on the table. This deal's on the table, guys. Why is this proxy coming out to me now? Oh, it's a month before we get to vote, right? Good. Why is the timing always lining up with everything we want it to line up with? You guys want to talk about 2205? The price of the stock right now, 2205? Okay. Roaring Kitty, tweeting, deleting. I'm starting to think Roaring Kitty plays for the other team. I'm starting to think he's just he's got all this money. He's on the other side of a trade. I don't know the sensation. I don't know what to believe. I believe Ryan Cohen. That's what I believe. But I'm cool with it all. I really don't care. I already told you I'm invested because of Ryan and mathematics, not because of somebody tweeting. $2.5 billion. In what world have you seen Ryan Cohen dilute you as a shareholder? I'm going to wait for this one. Has he ever? So Ryan sold the shares at $20. ATM. Right? Help me with this. He did an ATM for $20. The stock price was at 10 2 months prior. 5 months prior. So it was at 10, he didn't sell. It doubled in value, and then he sold. Some shares. Cool. Has he not increased earnings per share? Did he take it from 1 cent to $1? Has he done that yet? Is it close to that yet? He's very close, right? So he's increased your earnings over 100x essentially. Because we used to be negative and not make any. But diluting the shares is not something that he's just going to openly do. And there's no such thing as dilution when it comes to GameStop. Oh, shut the F up, Marantz. You can't say that because that's not true, bro. Oh, no? Hold on. Let me think this through. I got to think about it, okay? Hulk Hogan, they told me, is 6'7", 285. He's a bad man. He beats up people. He's a nice guy. Okay, hold on. I gotta think this through. Is it true? Okay, help me. Somebody help me. Do the math. GameStop has done offerings and bonds, increased the float from 304 million shares to 448 million shares right now. Okay, cool. They have bonds, and that results in a float of all the way up to 591. They then offered warrants to 650, essentially. It'll be 650 million shares, by the way. But hold on. How much cash burn have they done? What's the cash burn on GameStop from 2021 to now? How much money have they lost versus what they actually have? So all the money raised from offerings, they haven't spent. They haven't deployed it, but they got value for it because your boys over here at TD Securities is offering to give them $20 billion to a failed company that only makes, $6.7 million in 2023. 2024. Huh. So they made, 2023. Then they made 131 and now 414. Somewhere in there, somebody says 20 billion is a good number. And you have 9 billion left. So the dilution never left. Their book value went up. Your shareholder equity went up. Huh. Maybe I'm wrong. I could be wrong. It's possible. Haven't been wrong. Not on GameStop. That stock price, 2205. Check this out. I got something for you guys. And I don't have to be that idiot on his show. The macro is a negative, blah, blah, blah. Somebody's going to interview Ryan tomorrow. Ryan's making his rounds. People are requesting to talk to him. That's fine. Here's my thing. I don't have time to talk to Ryan. I don't have any time to talk to Ryan, even if I wanted to. If it was like, yo, Ryan, can we get together? Blah, blah, blah. I wouldn't have time. My wife doesn't give a shit about Ryan Cohen. Not one bit. She should. She doesn't. So I live my life. I doubt Ryan's wife cares about us, guys. Let's talk this out. There was a time when this timeline here, it looked ridiculous because the stock jumped all the way from about $20 a share, right here, death cross, and it went down to the point of no return. It just looked ridiculous at that point. And it bounced up, and then it came back down, and then it ricocheted off the floor. Well, I'm willing to bet right now that today, with the stock price being all the way down to 22 and some change, we had this gap right here. You see this gap right here? This gap up? We officially filled it here. We came down, and what are we really testing right now? Where are we trying to hit? Did it hit 21 in the after hours? I think it did, right? But this is nothing. We're still within this window. It's like you can't be scared off of this investment. This investment can't scare me. People can't scare me. So headlines come out, and GameStop think they're going to dilute to go buy the damn company, man. It's a dilution with their ability to dilute, just in case. It's guys, for some of you out there, it's gonna be a poor analogy, but it's like going to a strip club with a pocket full of ones, and you know damn well you're not gonna pull them out. I could marry a stripper, but I got so much money in my pocket, I'll just buy the damn club and kick everybody out and turn it into a church. That's what we're doing. We're going to kick people out of this strip club, guys. And we're going to do it. And you guys got to believe in it. Believe in yourself. I bought $10 today, guys. That's all I had. If I got $10 tomorrow, I'll do it again. I can't buy a lot. We're one like a lot of you. We're strapped like everybody else. We're planning out our lives together. My wife and I, she said to me, baby, I'm so happy I picked you and no one else to grow old with. That was a nice thing to say to me today. I took it. I said, yeah, baby, that's awesome. Did you hear? Ryan Cohen's still in the running to get eBay. Like it's all in my head, man. It's hard to focus sometimes. But the world is wrong. This is not a bad thing. This is a great thing. For everyone doing interviews with Ryan, shout outs to them. I hope they get all the publicity they need and the truth out of it. And hopefully they ask some really good questions. I have questions too for Ryan, but they're from the investor standpoint of being an investor into GameStop. What you will never see is Ryan try to rally the troops behind him because he knows that would be considered stock manipulation. He knows that they would go ahead and have him on the stake. He's a smart man, the way he talks, the way he communicates. There's a reason why he sounds like he's bored all the time. Because he knows what to give you and what not to give you. Very intelligent. And us, well, if you're intelligent too, then you would know that our market cap might go down to $9 billion like it is right now. It's in the nines, guys. We own 5% of eBay, and it's in the nines. We've made a transaction in our favor of over $1 billion swing for the quarter of profit. Unrealized gains of $1 billion this quarter. And Wall Street has given you no value at all. I'll buy that damn stock every day of the week at 22, whatever it wants to be. Thank you for the gift. Thank you for the average down. And keep it coming. Anyone have any questions? Or should I go ahead and address the chat right now? The idiots that are saying nonsense? Should we do that? Anyone? People just move in and out and collect salary and bonuses and then they move on. Yeah, that's easy. Look at these shields and bots melt down in full broad. Yeah. Roaring Kitty is a BlackRock puppet. End of story. I don't know if you're educated or educated. I don't know what you are, but BlackRock has nothing to do with this. I'd like to introduce myself. I'm a Chief Human Person Officer of Company Store Inc. Cool, bro. Thanks. I'm the Chief People Officer for Marantz Rantz. How's that going? Thank you. We're 5 years deep. Yeah, we're 5 years deep right now. It's going good. Tesla issued over 1 billion of shares, straight dilution before profitability for almost 8 to 9 years. GameStop is profitable. Yeah, let's do that. Thank you guys again for showing up. I know it's a short night. This is it. All the education in the world. If you guys have questions, we'll get to it. As far as the proxy goes, be aware. The proxy for eBay is a train wreck. I read it every single line last night in addition to this morning. GameStops, well, they're amazing. And they're going to go buy that damn company. They're going to take it over, and they're going to gut it. They're going to gut it of all the private equity they need to. I love it, guys. You know where to find me. I'm out here listening to Justin Bieber, feeling good with my life. I'll see you around, millionaires.